Hey guys, in this video I just wanted to give you a brief explanation on the Design 2 Mina messenger bag, which is the smaller version. With the Design 2 we're gonna use faux leather fabric as the main exterior fabric. All the main features are pretty much the same with some minor differences which I'm gonna talk about in this video. Alright, first thing first, of course you wanna print out and assemble the pattern pieces. Since we are working with faux leather fabric which cannot be placed on fold, some of the templates are a full template, which include the back panel, the bottom panel, the front panel, and the side panel. The rest of the pattern pieces are to be placed on fold. Cut all the pattern pieces accordingly. Obviously, when you use faux leather fabric, do not use any pins to hold on to the pattern, so use pattern weights. You should be able to get these from your local fabric store or online. Cut the notches right away. Now find the center fold point by folding the fabric in half, matching the notches and the raw edges. You just want to fold this gently, don't make any crease, and then snip about 1/4 inch from the edge. And of course, if the pattern indicates to be placed on fold, cut the fabric on fold. And make sure to snip the center fold of all the panels. Work the front pleated pocket the same way as Design 1. However, you will need smaller size magnetic snap closure. So for the Design 2, you will need the 14mm magnetic snap closure. Here I've already sewn the back and the flap exterior together. Since we're working also with the faux leather fabric, we're not gonna use iron to press. So simply finger press the seams open and then top stitch. You wanna top stitch about 1/8 inch from the seam line on both sides. Next, we're gonna work on the ring tabs. Cut 2 rectangles from the faux leather fabric and then attach the D-ring. To hold on to the fold for now, you wanna apply a little bit of the fabric glue. A little goes a long way here. Position the ring tab on the right side of the side panel, about 1/2 inch down from the top edge. Center the position, of course. Now apply a little extra fabric glue just to hold on to this for now, and then stitch along the sides and the bottom edges. Once you've stitched the ring tab panel, it's time to install the rivets. Mark 1 inch from the bottom edge of the ring tab and then put a little mark right on the center. And then for the second one, you want to measure 1/2 inch from the bottom and then install the rivets according to the manufacturer's instructions. We're going to use the faux leather fabric to make the adjustable strap here. Depending on the length of your fabric, you may need to join 2 strips together to get the sufficient length for your adjustable strap. If that's the case, we're going to join the strips together on bias. So first you want to cross the strips, right sides together. Have about 1/2 inch of overhang on both sides. Now I'm going to use a pattern weight just to hold on to this strip. Next you want to draw a diagonal line from the top corner to the bottom corner, just like so, and then stitch on the diagonal line. Now you want to trim the seam allowances down to 1/2 inch. Finger press the seams open and then stitch along the edges of the seam line on both sides. Once you've done that, you can trim off these little excess fabrics. Fold one of the long side towards the wrong side about 1/2 inch. Use a seam gauge just to make sure that it is pretty accurate. Secure the fold with some clips. Once everything is secured, stitch about 3/8 inch from the folded edge. So with the right side facing up. Repeat to fold and stitch the opposite side the same way. Now just a little note here, if this is your first time working with faux leather fabric, you don't need to backstitch when stitching faux leather fabric, but rather leave some thread tails in the beginning and at the end. Make a knot on each tail and then you can either stitch to bury this within the fabric or simply cut it off. Now let's fold the strap in half again, matching the folded edges just like that. Secure with some clips. Once you've done that, stitch all around the edges. Start sewing from the open edge. As usual, I highly recommend using your walking presser foot for this. Lengthen your stitch length. I use 3mm stitch length, also a larger needle. I use jean size needle for this. Since each machine is different, I recommend to do a bit of testing on a scrap of fabric to see which setup is right for you. Your strap should look just like this right now. If you want, you can add another seam right here between the first and the second line to make them look even. Thread one of the end of the strap through the slider with the slider facing right side up. Pull the thread through about 1.5 inch over there. And then install a rivet about 1/2 inch from the bottom right on the center to secure the strap. So you simply follow the manufacturer's instructions and you want to install the rivet with the cap facing the same side as the end of the strap. Next we're going to install the swivel hooks. Take the remaining end of the strap and then thread one swivel hook, pull the strap through about halfway. Now grab the slider with the right side facing up, so the stitch end of the strap should be facing down at this point. Now let's thread the end of the strap from the wrong side towards the right side, passing through the stitch end and then back to the wrong side. Pull the strap through, and at this point you want to check and make sure that there is no twist with your strap. Now thread the other swivel hook, making sure that the head of the swivel hook is facing the outer side of the strap. Pull the strap through about 1.5 inch and then install a couple of rivets about 1/2 inch from the strap end and 1/4 inch from each side to secure the strap. And that's it, the faux leather adjustable strap is done. The assembling of the gusset is identical as the design one. Again, make sure to hand base the bottom corners to make it easier to sew along the corner area. The zipper pocket installation is essentially the same, only this time the template is a slight smaller, and you want to position the zipper pocket about 1/2 inch down from the top edge of the front interior. So simply refer to the pattern diagram and then install the zipper pocket the same way as in the design 1 video. The interior slip pocket of design 2 has its own pattern, so you want to cut 2 pieces from the interior fabric, lay them right sides together just like that, and then stitch along the top edges with 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Press the seams open and then flip it to the right side, press it again and top stitch along the top edges. Now position the pocket panel on the right side of the back interior panel, matching the sides and the bottom edges of course. Draw a straight line on the center of the pocket to divide the pocket into 2, secure with some clips, and then stitch the sides and the bottom edges with about 1/4 inch seam allowance, and then sew right on the center line. You can also add angle stitching on top to reinforce the pocket. And there you have it. Now you can continue working on your bag the same way as shown in the design 1 tutorial, or simply follow the step-by-step sewing instructions that are provided in the pattern. Alright, one last thing that I want to mention here, due to the bulkiness of the faux leather fabric, when you do the final top stitching, you want to top stitch the side and the front first and then top stitch the flap. And that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye!